Hello, Bally Brigade. This is take 3 because people that live with me are being loud, and I couldn't do this outside today because my neighbor has her dog outside, and he likes to be loud sometimes. So, mini pincer. Love the dog, and the barking is usually more along the lines of touch me kind of thing. So, anyways, we're doing a review of the MARCOLO Comet. I lubed these up in the last take only because I wanted to make sure there was a fair comparison, because sometimes the lube can slow the momentum down a little bit, in my opinion, and sometimes not. Anyways, this is the Comet. Handles feel like they're still all over the place because, I don't know, the momentum feels weird. Good budget beginner ballast line. Like if I got this before I got the Canyon or the Cheese, definitely would like it. But it is a little bit more slippery because of the bead blast, which I probably will not buy another ballast line with bead blast. Probably go with something different. I wish that more companies started doing what the Ballast is doing with mixing G10 like on the Volt Pro, and or doing the Teflon coating, because it's a weird grip because it feels grippy and not grippy at the same time. But it is definitely more grippy than the bead blast. But if you're staying within the $40 to $80 range, the Comet is not bad. And before I pull out the other one, you do have, if it wants to focus, which it's not going to, I guess. Let's see here. It's telling me I need more light. There it goes. A little bit. You got a ruler, I guess. The bottle opener will work either way, which, like opening it like this is normal. I don't know why you open it like that. I guess to look cool. I don't know. But the bottle opener is functional on this one. The C116 MARCOLO, which I still think sounds, I like that twang sound, that ting ting sound. In my opinion, I like this one a little better than the Comet. I like the C116 better than the Comet, only because it feels less slippery. Sometimes it does slip out of your hand, because personally, MARCOLO, if you're listening, if you went ahead, instead of rounding off these edges like you do on the Comet and on the C116, instead of rounding them off, you should leave them square. But you should also take more material off of these. Do a speed channel down the middle. Even if you take the speed channel and you move it like right here, so that the integrity of the pins stay where they need to be, move it here, and you cut that speed channel all the way to here, and leave the jumping up here, but all the way to right about there. Take a little bit of weight out of the handles, because this is more handle bias. The Comet is more handle biased, in my opinion. They fly more around, and sometimes it feels uncontrollable. It's not very neutral. Or if you're at home and you buy one of these and you really want to like it, and it's inexpensive, and you want to do your own mods to it, you could do that. Drill holes down into the handle as straight as you can. Take some material out of there. Make it as much neutral as you can. Then, it'd be fine. In my opinion, the C116 is better than the Comet because it's not as slippery, in my opinion. Granted, the handles are still all over the place, and sometimes these want to go their own way, which I'm not going to flip the Canyon or the cheese, because the last take it looked too biased because I'm spoiled by those ones, and I want to do just a true review on these by themselves, so that way you have a comparison between the two. Comet is not bad. It's not. I don't feel like it's bad. It's just, if you put that grippy texture that the C116 had on this instead of the very deep design that he put on here, it is pretty deep, but you have to like really hug it in order to feel it. But if you're doing tricks, sometimes you have to have a loose grip to get it to go one way or the other. If you put that grip on here, actually cut these flow channels out, and same with that one, cut this flow channel all the way down this way, or drill a hole in here to get some of the weight out of the handles. That way it's more neutral, or a little bit blade biased, which I'm finding that neutral and a little bit of blade bias is better than a little handle biased, or in this case what it feels like is more handle bias. And it feels like you have to chase this more, which I'm trying not to move my elbow, because that's what people are saying, don't move your elbow that much. But like right there, I wasn't even trying to catch it that way. I wanted to go its own way. And if you're wondering what this trick is, it was just a trick that I kind of like, I don't know, other people probably already figured this out. But it's behind the 8-ball with like a helix mixed into it, or a half helix mixed into it, just to get it to keep going. It's one of those mindless tricks where you could just sit there at your desk or watching a video on your phone or watching TV, and you don't have to like really try, I guess. But bottle opener works on this Comet, and then you have a ruler for some reason if you need a ruler. The bottle opener on the C116 does not work. I think if you change the profile of the blade a little bit to where it came out both sides more, it would work, because you don't get any real grip at the tip of this when you try to open a bottle. I tried hard, and it does not like opening a bottle. You need to bring the tip of this more in, longer, like this side, and how long it is on both sides on this Comet, because you can do an ice pick grip on a bottle, because I've opened many bottles with this already. You can do an ice pick grip if you're trying to look cool, or you could just do a regular grip, and guess what? It opens. So I guess functions as a ruler and bottle opener. And sure, these are cool, they're good. They're lubed up right now, by the way. The play is, yeah, that's the play. If you don't like that, then there's that. And that's the bite handle, which has a little bit of tap, but it's not audible. If it's audible, then you know you're running into issues according to the information I've seen. Like, there's within error or within tolerance. Like this one, the bite handle and the regular handle do have tap on them, but it's very minimal. It feels more like the cheese. This one does not have tap on the regular handle, but it has, I guess, comparable tap to that. The Canyon you can barely feel it. The cheese, there's no tap to this. Lubed or unlubed, there's no tap to it. And the play is like, can't see it. You can see it on those Marcolos, and yes, you can see it on the Canyons that have the defect and the regular one that's I just pulled up. And this one has probably a little bit more tap because it's the defect. And there's a handle issue, not a hardware issue, and I figured that out on my own. As a new person to flipping. Anyways, if you bought these, you won't be mad or upset if you're brand new to the hobby. It will get you training and flipping and all that stuff. Rollovers, probably not the best because all the momentum that these have, in my opinion. Like, that's me trying to do a rollover with that. Compared to doing a rollover with the Canyon, or doing a rollover with the cheese. Ooh, that always still sounds better. It's probably that 70-75 aluminum, that's why. Compared to 60-61 aluminum. But I was messing around with the rollovers with this, and sometimes you have to hold it just right up, almost towards the middle to get a good, decent rollover. That's the same with this one. So if you're trying to learn rollovers, you can with these. It's just it could probably be a little harder compared to the Canyon. And also, watch, I'm talking crap about this. Oop. Let's see. No, see, today it wants to chaplain. Sometimes it just feels like you chaplain on the Marcolos. Yeah, you can feel it slipping off right there. And they just want to kind of like slip off, especially this one. If I can even get it to go. Yep. Oh, it's going. You can chaplain on these, but they feel slipperier. And then now I'm talking crap about the Comet, and the Comet wants to, yeah, see? Of course, the cheese is gonna chaplain. People said they had issues with this one, chaplain, but because I had the Canyon, and I learned the chaplain on the Canyon, let me be able to flip on the cheese, which these two will chaplain all day long, perfectly fine. And then fanning. My fans are probably not the best compared to everybody else's. Yes, you can fan on these, but sometimes it still feels, like you see right there, it just feels like the handle wants to go down. And then, I don't know, I've seen people do like this continuous fan, and I'm assuming it goes this way. Yeah, it feels like it's decent fanning, I guess. If you're getting into the hobby and you were just flipping these, you probably get really good at flipping these and be perfectly fine with the outcome of your first aluminum ballad song being a Comet or a C116 from MARCOLO, and you'd be fine. But you can grow with these, and you can get the trainer version of the Canyon, which everybody's saying that they like. And then you can also get this false edge that everyone says they like for a $50, $40 ballad song. My issue with this one, like that one, should have kept it square and instead of rounding it off. Maybe don't mill these stars so sharp, because that's what busted up my finger with this one. Even though I like this one, the C116, I like it over the Comet a little bit, but it's like you get torn a little bit, because then sometimes that one wants to show that one up when it actually wants to flip and not be slippery. But I think that's just a bead blast. And when I do a bead blast, I would change those handles off on the Comet to have that kind of texture. And you don't even need like these lines in here, I don't think. If you just did this straight, just texture on those handles, maybe do it all over it, probably be more grippy. Take some material off of these so that they maybe not be as handle biased from what I can feel with flipping, with my limited knowledge in flipping experience. And let's see something real quick. Was it in here? I thought it was in here. Oh, and in my previous video when I was talking about the tool that comes with these, the T10 bit, not a, oh, this was loose. Oh, over here doing a review, and I need to be tightening up some handles real quick. This still swing freely. Yep. None of these are Loctited. I didn't Loctite any of them because I don't feel like fighting with Loctite. Hey, maybe I might Loctite the Canyon if it gave me issues, which it doesn't. This one's not loose though. Well, maybe this will actually flip like it's supposed to. Maybe that was my bad. Even though the handles, the pins, or the barrels do not. No, it's about the same. Granted, this one, other than the slipperiness with the grippiness, which feels weird. Like you would say, like I was saying, grippy and slippery at the same time, but it doesn't fly out of your hand and the handles don't go everywhere. Kind of has a comparison flipping to the cheese, but the Canyon's still better than that. And obviously cheese is still going to be better than that. But if I had to choose between the Comet or the C116 as a beginner balisong, I would choose the C116 over the Comet. Only because I feel like between the two, even though they have similar issues, this one doesn't fly out of my hand as much. It feels like it flips more, flips better. But I'm not knocking the Comet because it's still a really good balisong. And personally, yes, sure, he probably priced this out because of the design. But if you switch the Comet to your $46 balisong and the C116, which I personally would just call it the Comet, because you tried to go in with the star thing, or the asteroid, call it the Comet or the asteroid, because you have the star theme here, and instead of calling it the C116, it would be cooler, in my opinion. Change the name, maybe, wink wink, hint hint, and then make this one your $50 balisong, even though the design is less than this one. But what people are looking for in a balisong is the right amount of grip and the flippability, which that one flips better. MARCOLO, you probably would make more money off of that, honestly. And I understand you were kind of going with the theme here, but to me, I would have named this one not the Comet. I would have named it the Tool, because that's basically what you were trying to do with it. I would have named it Tool, and then instead of doing the square cutouts here, just square, I would have added like little wrench sizes going up, and then made this less blade-like and more square towards the top. So you could just add little wrenches. Leave the bottle opener in this thing, because that bottle opener is amazing, in my opinion, for between the two, because the bottle opener does not work on the C116. But that's my review on these. Honestly, they're cool and everything. I'm not going to keep them in my collection, only because I wanted a bottle opener. I just use a bottle opener, and I also have this little ring that's also a bottle opener that I've had for years that I would use. But I'm going to return these two. Nothing against you, Marcolo. It's just might have to, in my opinion, which I'm probably going to get shit for it from other people that like these two products. That, no, they're perfectly fine. You just suck at flipping. Well, I'm coming from a beginner's point of view, which is probably different than yours. You've probably been flipping for 6 months, a year, 2 years plus, you know. It's just, I can't, after being spoiled by the Canyon, I can't justify keeping them in my collection. Like, if I started out with those and I didn't have the cheese, which, if you're starting out, start out as low as you can, and then work your way up so that way you have room to grow instead of going straight into something as amazing as the cheese, which will make you not want to look at something like the Comet and the C116. But funny thing is I bought a Canyon. And everyone's like, well, that's a $50 Balisong. Yeah, but I heard really good things about it, and that's the reason why I wanted it. And then I got that defective one, and I was just like, oh, maybe the Canyon is not as good as I thought it was going to be, or maybe I'm spoiled by the cheese. And then the Ballast fixed the issue by sending out a new Canyon, and I'm torn between the cheese, the Canyon, and now the defective one that I've tuned the crap out of with my limited knowledge of tuning, which everything that I figured out on my own with that was correct with the tuning, other than one thing that I did, which would be maybe something most people don't do, which I will do when I do the actual final review video, which is going to go up today as well on the Canyon. Anyways, Comet C116. Not bad Balisongs. If you're new to the hobby, you couldn't go wrong with either one of these. Alright? You will have a lot of room to grow going from these to something like the Canyon, which is still in your budget range if you're within the $40 to $50 budget range, because they have the $40 Trainer Canyon, which I heard people love with the flippability of that, and a lot of people go, I don't see the point of going over to the false edge if this flips just as good as the false edge. And that's the reason why I haven't bought a trainer, because why would I want to buy a trainer if I already have the false edge and they're comparable? This just has the false edge, and you can put a live edge on it. Like, when I'm done with the review of the defect Canyon and the regular Canyon, I'm probably going to put an edge on that defective Canyon. Just to have a live blade. I'm not sure yet, because there's other things I want to do to that thing because it's a defect. But I know a lot of people don't like my videos. Maybe people don't find them interesting. Maybe, oh, you're just a crappy flipper. I'm still new to the freaking game, bro, and I'm not doing this for the crazy flipping and the competitive flipping. You want to do that? Do that. I'm doing it for the collection. I'm doing it for the unboxings. I'm doing it from a beginner's point of view as much as possible before I finally start running out of ballast songs within that range, because there's not a lot. Wish companies did more. Like the Canyon. If I could talk to the Ballies about the Canyon, there's a few things I would tweak on it, only because I like the twang sound, the harmonic sound. Don't get me wrong, the cheese sounds good with the clickety clackety, bouncy, like not super bouncy, but like if you've played with the cheese, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But you hear that, the clinking, and sometimes you get this like vibration through the blade or the handles. I don't know which way it's coming from. You can get it from this too sometimes. I might buy a Teflon Volp, only because I've heard people playing with those, and the twang on that blade when you're flipping it sounds so good. And then I found a clone. Yeah, I know, clone. Why are you looking at clones? Found a clone that's really nice, that I'm not going to mention it because I don't want it to get sold out like a lot of other clones do, that has a harmonic to it that just sounds so good. Sometimes I'm flipping around certain people that don't like hearing that sound, but in my opinion, if you don't like that sound, walk away. You know, don't complain about it. I'm not going to stop just for you. The world doesn't revolve around you. If you're in my house, you know, and then if I'm around a group of people that don't care, and you're the only one that cares, guess what? The group don't care. So maybe you just walk away. Yeah. And then you have the clicky sound. Like, I like the clicky sound. Sounds good. I wish, but like I said, the Volp Teflon has that clackety clack, which is amazing. Now I'm turning this into a review on other things. Let's focus on that. Sorry. Anyways, review for those. Both good. You can't go wrong with either one of them. As a beginner, maybe even if you're already into the hobby and you're looking at these and you're going, maybe I should buy them just to try them out, you might like them. They're just a little slippery. I personally would strip the handles and see if the raw aluminum would be better, because a lot of times when you do coatings like this, they have to do somewhat of sanding to get the coating to stick, I think. Or I would strip them and then do your own coating to them that makes them more grippier. Or take them, leave right around where the pins are or something, if you can. And if you know how with the machining, I would square these back off, taking some more material off of them to make it a little bit more blade biased or more neutral, because these handles are definitely more handle biased, in my opinion. I can feel it. I can feel the handles where they just want to fly out of your hand a lot of times. But both good. Couldn't go wrong. You can grow from them, even switching from those to a Canyon, whether you do the trainer or the false edge. Anyways, this is Ballet Brigade signing off. Like and subscribe to my videos, I hope, and donate to my Patreon so we can make this channel grow, and we can buy more ballad songs to do more reviews for you guys, because maybe you don't want to do them yourself, or you don't have the time and you just want to pick something up quick after watching a video. But the Patreon thing would really help my channel out. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.